Anyone remember this jacket? No? Good. Anyway, aloha and welcome back to another episode. Today, I want to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong. More specifically, the fact that I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong, so I've been trying to stay away from, spoilers or any type of reviews that have spoiler elements in them. However, I have read many people's review of the game, so I kind of figured, I'll take a look at the review, but I'll try to avoid spoilers the best I can. And so far, I've done a pretty good job of it. I've barely seen anything. I don't think I've seen anything like that spoilery, so I'm pretty impressed with myself. However, I've seen a lot of dumb reviews. One of the biggest things I've seen people say is the monster part of the movie, the fighting and everything, is really, really good. The human part is really boring, and it's some people say it's incomprehensible. And to that I say, okay, is that a problem? Don't get me wrong, I think that the human parts of Godzilla movies can be very boring. But I think that's just kind of how it has to be. Because think about it like this. Even if you made just a completely different movie that has a really good storyline in it with a bunch of different characters or whatever, and then just took that movie, filmed it, and then just cut Godzilla fighting in between some of the scenes, the humans would still be inherently less interesting. It doesn't really matter how good the story is written because it's inherently not going to be as interesting as this. That's not to say that you shouldn't try. Obviously you should. I can't comment on these specific human characters because, like I said, I don't have HBO Max, so I haven't seen the movie yet. But, oh well, that's most Godzilla movies. And you know what? They're fine. Yeah, the human parts can be boring sometimes. But think about it like this. Do you really want the humans to be a big part of the movie? In order to develop the characters, you have to spend more time with them. Who goes to a Godzilla movie to spend time with the humans? People complain about it when it's the other way around. The 2014 Godzilla, for instance, has a lot of human development, has a lot of human characters in it, and barely any Godzilla, and people were mad at that. But that's what you need to do in order to develop the characters. Personally, I really liked the 2014 Godzilla. I don't think it's perfect by any means, and I think they could have definitely used more monsters and more fight scenes or whatever, and they shouldn't have cut away from Godzilla as much as they did. But I still really genuinely enjoyed the movie, and that includes the human characters. But I didn't need the humans, because the next film, Godzilla King of the Monsters, I also really enjoyed, but that movie has kind of boring characters. But it didn't bother me. Why? It's Godzilla! It doesn't need human characters. It's a giant lizard that breathes atomic breath out of his mouth and fights a three-headed dragon who can shoot lightning. That's freaking insane! Why do you need humans? And obviously you can't have an entire movie that's just Godzilla with no human characters. Kind of think of it, why couldn't you? I know a lot of people always say, oh, you need human characters in Godzilla. I kind of don't think you do. It would be interesting to see what they would do. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have, if I were to make a Godzilla movie, I'd have human characters. But, A, I wouldn't spend a lot of time with them. I'd only spend a little bit and kind of, keep that to ground the story. My focus wouldn't be the human characters, you know what I mean? That's the thing, a lot of reviewers always say that. Do Godzilla fans, or fans of kaiju in general, like, King Kong, Godzilla, Pacific Rim, all of those films, the fans of that never seem to complain that much when the humans are boring, when the monster fights are good. I did see actual Godzilla fans complain about the 2014 Godzilla because, yeah, there wasn't a lot of Godzilla in it, and that's kind of the point of the movie. When it's Godzilla for the most part, and the humans are just kind of there, and they're not that interesting, I don't see a lot of actual Godzilla fans get that upset at it. Why? Because that's not the point. That's not why you go. You go for Godzilla. Any fans of these types of movies already have expectations of what it should be, and reviewers that are like, oh, this isn't the most groundbreaking story, that's not the point, though. Personally, I love Godzilla. He's one of my favorite, movie franchises of all time. And he goes all the way back to the 50s. And yeah, there might be some really bad movies, in between that time. But for the most part, his movies I really like. I really love the first one, the Japanese version of the first one. A lot of the early Godzillas are good, and then they kind of made it more comedic. Those are the ones that I don't love, the comedic ones. And then when they rebooted him in the, I want to say 90s or maybe 80s, he was really good again. I liked those movies up until Tokyo kind of stopped making them. And then obviously the original American Godzilla isn't Godzilla. This thing, it's not Godzilla. But that movie doesn't exist. But the 2014 one is really good. Tokyo made another one in 2016, which was very wild, but still really cool. It didn't feel 100% like Godzilla, but I still thought it was a good movie for Godzilla. And then, I like the 2019 movie, and I'm really excited for this one as soon as I get to see it. And when people review these movies who are actual fans of them, you know what a lot of the time they don't talk about? The humans. Because that's not the point. The drama and the action and the suspense should come from the monsters, not from the people. So when you review them, yeah, you can say, it's not a cinematic masterpiece. But that's not the goal. The goal is to just entertain people by having two monsters fight. And you know what? For the 99% of the Godzilla movies I've seen, it does its job. Anyway, if you guys like Godzilla, comment down below what you think about all this. Do you, when you go to a Godzilla movie, do you expect good characters? Do you even want good characters? And when you review them, do you take that into consideration at all? Because I don't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next episode. Goodbye!